everybody. This year that I'm about to introduce, the Siyata D'Shmaya, the name of the vocabulary word that's used is etymology, E-T-Y, and then mology, a form of study of roots and words in any language. In Hebrew language, especially relevant to study this. Why? Because in the Hebrew language, you see that you can take one three-letter root, and all the Hebrew language is based on three-letter roots. You can take one three-letter root, and you can create somewhere between 500 and 750 words out of one root. And all the letters of that root, which has a primal meaning, an overriding flavor for what those three letters together mean, and create upwards of 500 to 750 words, potentially. In the verb forms, in the noun forms, in adjective forms, you can put direct objects, you can make the action going towards something, you can make it somebody's action. Almost infinite number. Imagine that you learn one root and you're going to end up with a vocabulary knowing the different patterns of anywhere from 500 to 700 words. Every week when I do the Parsha, one of the things I do in Shtayim Mikra Echad Targum, you read the Parsha twice and then you read it once in Aramaic. This study is relevant also, by the way, in Aramaic, as much as it is in Hebrew. We'll be focusing mostly on Hebrew, if not exclusively on Hebrew. Is to reveal and to see when you're analyzing words, how do you translate? And it's true, you may see the translation and know what it means, but every letter, every word is precise. You take that root, how do you change three letters and have so many meanings? You change the vowels. Each vowel change changes the meaning of the word, so you have to be extremely precise. So what I do every week is I'm reading, I'm always fascinated. As I'm reading the Parsha twice and I'm reading the commentary of the Onkelos in Aramaic, I suddenly realize the preciseness of the words. I see these words and I say, what is the root? I see what it means, but how did it get there? And I do studies every week as I'm learning. And I thought that would be a wonderful thing, I think, to share with people. The analysis of the Hebrew word, what category it's in, how it means what it means. What do all the letters in that word mean? And this is what I hope to be able to share through this exercise and through this gift. I'd like to say tomorrow is the yortzeit of one of my closest friends and one of the closest friends of Yeshivas Rabbi Akiva, Eliyahu Zalman ben Yisachar Halevi, Law, who was a true friend who passed away exactly 1 year ago tomorrow. His brother Harry has come to visit with us. His family's behind us. I would like to offer this project that I'm initiating, right, the etymology of the Hebrew word from the Parsha and from the Haftorah, in his memory and to honor his memory. Right? I'm offering this up from the depth of my heart to a man that I love dearly and was a true, true friend of Yeshivas Rabbi Akiva. So we're going to take a look. You're going to see on your screen a picture of a sheet. And what that sheet's going to have, I'm going to go through every week, B'ezrat Hashem, and have it put online every Sunday for the Parsha of the week of Shabbos. So today we're going to put on, for instance, Parsha Korach. You're going to have 10 words from the Parsha, that's the Sidra, the story that you're reading every week, and from the Haftorah and/or, in combination, 10 words. And for those 10 words, we're going to help you. We're going to ask you to have like a quiz. And you can go and try to identify these 10 words and all the different details of those 10 words. I.e., first you'll see on your sheet, you have the word. That'll be the word with the vowels. Now don't forget, the Hebrew language was created at the beginning of the universe. The universe was created with the Hebrew letters. Before the Hebrew letters came, there were 10 esosphero, 10 spheres of creation. The first moment of the creation of the Bria, of the universe, there were 10 vowels that had primal sounds. They weren't words yet, they were just sounds. Those give inflection, those change the meanings of the letters. Afterwards came the letters. And those letters now define a primal meaning. Without the vowels, there's a primal meaning, like something to do with eating or food. That would be one category. Something to do with seeing in the eyes. Something to do with watching or guarding. Each word has its own primal meaning. Something to do with learning and teaching. Each one of those three-letter roots has that primal meaning. Then the changing of the vowels and the changing of the letters will change the meaning of that word. So what we'll do is we'll take these 10 words. I went and picked words that were not easy. They have dropping letters. They're unusual binyanim. Binyanim, you're going to have to learn some of the Hebrew language. Binyanim is the relationship of the subject and predicate. Predicate means a verb. How does the thing you're talking about relate to the action that you're talking about? You'll get 10 words. The 10 words will be from the Parsha or from the Haftorah, as I said, and you'll have the word with the vowels. Good? Then you'll be asked, and you'll be told which pasuk it comes from, which sentence in the weekly Sedra or Haftorah it comes from. And you'll be asked the following question. What's the 3-letter root of this word? It can have 7 or 8 letters, but there's only 3 root letters, sometimes 4 root letters. And we need to know what the root is. Without any vowels, that's going to give us our primal meaning. For instance, if we have the word to watch, to teach, and to learn, or cause to learn, or teaching, right? Those kind of things, we just want the root, not the extra letters that cause the variation in the tonality of that word. Then we're going to ask what binyan it's in. There's 7 of them, or 8, according to some. And then we're going to ask what letters might have dropped away from the 3-letter root, because often letters drop away from 3-letter roots. And this will reveal, and there's patterns to let you know what dropped away. We want to see what they are. We're going to ask what person it is. Is it first person? Is it I doing the action and receiving the action? Is it you, the second person? Or is it he? We're going to ask that. Which person is it? Are you he? We, you, or they? Next, we're going to ask, is it a masculine verb or a feminine verb? Why? Because in Hebrew, unlike other languages, or there's some probably that do have it, but in Hebrew for sure, every verb has to agree in the gender, they call it. If it's masculine or feminine. There is no neuter in Hebrew, as you know. If it's masculine or feminine, we're going to ask which one of those genders that verb is to help you identify what noun it's meeting with, it's matching up to. We're going to ask you whether it's singular or plural to identify that. We're going to ask you, is this verb in the future, the present, or the past? Let me do it in order. In the past, present, or future. Which is the expression of it? Which way is it talking about? It happened already? Is it happening right now? Will it happen? Right? Does it have a reversing vav? Hebrew's unique. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I believe, wanted to teach us that the past and the future in his world, because Hashem doesn't have time, he's not time-bound. How could he teach the Jewish people in their Torah that there was no time? So in the Chumash and in the Navi, he used the vav in front of a word. Vav's a hook. It connects. Right? That's its function. He writes the word in the past tense and puts a vav on it. You translate it in the future tense. He writes a word in the future tense form, puts a vav on it, you translate it in the past. He's telling you in one form and he's translating another to tell you that it's an infinite time we're dealing with here. This wasn't an event that happened long ago, but it's happening long ago and it's going to happen in the future, so to speak. It's a timeless thing. Prefix letters we're going to ask, and suffix letters, what letters are extra and what function they have. And then the formula with the special rules involved. We're going to ask and try to identify them for you. We're then going to ask the definition of the word. Now, you can look that up in the Chumash. You can look it up in an English book next to it. But why does it get to be there? How did it get to be that translation? Why was it in one place eating, another place digesting? Why is it in one place seeing, another place staring, another place being shown? All the same word, all the same root with their different meanings. We're going to have to define it. We want to know why. And then we'll have special notes where it has the action of the verbs going towards something, or somebody owns the action of them. My talking, your talking, such as that. This sheet will be presented every week. The beginning of the week will receive on the sheet just the word and the pasuk, with the rest of the sheet left empty, but spaces for all the things that we just mentioned. You go down, take your 10 words, try to review them, try to understand them, try to explain and fill in where everything is relative, fill it into the space that there is. And Bezrat Hashem, at the beginning of we'll decide on that either towards the end of the week, before Shabbos, that's going to be better. Let's say on Thursday of every week, we'll put out a sheet with the answers filled in on the words in the pasuk that you had. And we'll try to put out those new words for the new week every Sunday. And on Thursday, we'll try to supply the answers. It'd be like having the newspaper with a crossword puzzle or one of those number boxes, right? This will be a thing every week, be able to go through 10 interesting words in the Parsha, all of them hopefully having interesting things to teach us in Hebrew grammar called DikDuk. Again, I don't know who it's relevant to. right? Those that it's interesting to and know about it, right? And looking forward to putting it out there. Any questions you have, I'm available all the time on my email at Rabbi Akiva Yeshiva at gmail.com. Rabbi Akiva Yeshiva at gmail.com. All small letters, one word. We should be successful. The soul of our close and dear and beloved friend, Eliyahu Zalman ben Yisachar Moshe Law, Yisachar Halevi Law, should find an elevation in the worlds to come. He's watching over us. His soul should rest in peace. Everybody should be comforted and to have feelings which we all have of such great and absolute love for this man. Right? And his year and journey should have cleansed his soul to purity in an unbelievable letter of Tahara. Right? His memory should be blessed in this. Right? Anything that comes through this should go to elevate and to glorify his memory in the world. Any financial enumeration that's going to come through this are dedicated to give to a fund that I'll be hoping to announce to be starting tomorrow at the Yortzeit to establish a fund to collect, to be able to establish in Eliyahu's memory in Aaron HaKodesh, and the Tamid, and a parochus, a curtain for the Aaron HaKodesh that will be inscribed with his name and in his memory. To perpetuate his presence here. He's really one of the backbones, he's one of the foundations of Yeshivas Rabbi Akiva, and I never want to be forgotten. My chorus of Tov to him as a friend and a brother, and a true servant of God and the Torah is unmistakable, and should never be forgotten. May our project and his elevation both be equally successful, and I wish everybody joy, and I'll take and welcome any feedback on this project to make it more interesting to people. And in terms of the basic tools, if you don't know the information for doing this, you want to learn, please get in touch with me. We'll work it out to be able to start identifying and teaching you the forms in the Hebrew language. Have a wonderful day. You should be blessed. And we should see the Geula Shlema, the redemption of the Jewish people throughout Kal Yisrael and the whole world, right? To restore the world to the Gan Eden that God originally created it to be. Have a wonderful day, and I hope this is enjoyable and interesting and informative to you. Thank you.